Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Saint-Jean-d'Angely. It's round 7 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. My name is Paul Malin. Thanks for joining us for the broadcast this afternoon. It's the MXGP of France, the latest stage, and the final race of 3 in a row that's seen us in Italy at Mantova, Portugal, Agata a week ago, and now here in France. We'll take a week off, and then we'll do it all again in Russia, Latvia, Germany. 3 more races, 6 races in 7 weekends. It's been a tough time for the riders, but we're still here, we're still going strong. As to where we are, we're about an hour and a half north of Bordeaux, maybe 4.5 hours south of Paris, over on the west coast of France. And the weather has been interchangeable, but for the most part it's been dry. We did have a little bit of rain on Friday afternoon, but it hasn't done anything to dampen the spirits of anybody that's here or rode away around the track today. 1,620 meters long, the racetrack, and it's had a little bit of work overnight, and we've had European 125 and 250 races so far today. So the track redeveloping, it will be quite quick, but fans are sitting down nice and calm over on that side and to the right as we look down on the valley as they get ready for MX2 race 1. 30 minutes plus 2 laps, and in a moment we'll see the qualifying highlights, but let's go to the GoPro track preview. Here's what this circuit looks like here. Yamaha's Cervelin takes us for a spin around Saint-Jean, about 90 to 100 meters into turn 1, over the foxhole shot line, turning slightly back on yourself, uphill through a wide turn 2, into a double. If you're up front, you can get over that ahead of the rest. Paulin fell through here on the exit of his qualifying race. We'll see those qualifying race highlights later. But dropping down the bottom of the hill here into turn 4, a 180 right over the iPhone step-up. Used to be double-double, but just now it's more of a single onto that plateau. Use the bank if you need to. Dropping down, this is the finish line right here. And when we land, we're into a 90-degree right turn over a small double. Continuing right, we've got a couple of moguls to the inside just to separate riders a little bit. We have an uphill triple here, but on this occasion, 2-1. You'll see a variety of inside lines at the tops of these hills. This one leads to a downhill double, into a right-hander here, back up again. Short, sharp climb. This corner always causes problems because there's a slight mogul on the inside. A shorter drop downhill into this right. You've got a bit of an elevated a rise there on the right-hand side, but you're onto the first of 2 plateaus here. The second one is the second of the Monster Energy tabletop jumps, highest point of the racetrack. 90-degree right, launching downhill over the city jump. Used to be a huge downhill double. Hard on the brakes into this left, 180. Switch back uphill. Over the Monster Energy step up, through the right. You can double from the inside here. It looks like they've built that up this morning. So a little bit more hang time as you hit the waves. Bit of a scrub jump. 2 or 3 more waves here. And then into this next right. As soon as you get here, though, you're turning on that little upslope. So it can be quite tricky. Likewise, this corner, you'll see tight riders, tight lines, all railing around the inside, outside. The 2 lines will come together here. We drop downhill. This is the final corner. Back down the start straight past pit lane, and that's a lap of Saint-Jean-d'Angely. Fans are patiently waiting for the first World Championship gate drop here today. A few moments ago, Lisa Leyland was down on the grid. She caught up with Jago Geerts from Monster Energy Khmer, Yamaha and MX2. But before that, Rasmus Jorgensen, of course, he's a trainer to the Rockstar Energy Husqvarnas of Jed Beaton and Thomas Kjer Olsen.
Hello everyone and welcome to the start of the MX2 race. Now, it's such a great atmosphere here in France. The fans are out to play already and we're really looking forward to today's racing. But the first interview I'd like to do today is Rockstar Energy Husqvarna team trainer for MX2 team, Rasmus Jorgensen. I just wanted to catch up with you, Rasmus, because we saw Jed here around the paddock yesterday, but we didn't see him line up for qualifying. Can you just tell us the reason behind that?
Yeah, it's been a tough few weeks for Jed. In Portugal, in the second motor, he he crashed in the first lap and got ran over, and it's really stiff and sore everywhere. So he didn't ride this week. He gave it a good go yesterday, and I actually had to make the call because he's not going to give up, and he's just extremely sore and in pain everywhere, and it do not make any sense anymore to keep trying and trying. So he needs to heal up now, and hopefully these next 2 weeks will do him good, and then we have to see from there on if we're going to do Russia or not. But most important is to heal up now and feel good and fresh when you go out on the track.
Well, we wish him a speedy recovery. Secondly, I want to speak about TKO. Again, another tough day at the office for him. He's not really getting fantastic starts at the moment. Is that something that perhaps is holding him back? First off, have you been working on those starts? And secondly, what feedback did you get from him after yesterday's qualifying?
Yeah, like you say, it's a difficult situation. It's not like we're not trying. This week we were in France and we tried a lot of starts and we tried to improve a lot. And it's obviously really frustrating for him that he knows that he is one of the fastest guys out there, if not the fastest sometimes. And it's just when you start 18th, the other guys are gone, But we keep working. We can't do more than what we're doing. He's trying to work on himself. I think it comes down. It's mentally, and because he can do it in practice. So we just have to keep trying, and I'm sure we'll get there.
Okay, good luck to you and your team. Thanks, Rasmus. The second rider I'd like to speak to is Jago Geerts. Jago, I'd like to speak about yesterday's qualifying. I guess you're more of a sand rider, but a really impressive ride yesterday on the hard pack here in France. Up to second, you wouldn't let Prado get away. You've clearly been working hard on the hard pack.
Yeah, for sure. Yesterday was a good race for me. I had a really good start and was whole race in second, and was really feeling good on the track. And I hope today is the same, and I try to do the same today.
It's pretty hard out there, a lot of hard rocks as well. I mean, it's always important to get a good start, but here you really don't want to have a bad start, do you? Because those rocks, you don't want to get a good roosting, do you?
Yeah, the roost really hurts, so the start is really important here. And but today the track is a little bit more lines, so I think it's going to be good for today.
Have a great race. Thanks. Good luck, Jago. Okay, good luck to the guys. It's time for MX2 Race 1.
Riders are all safely back into the waiting zone now. Good crowd here, as always, at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. Let's take a look at the championship standings as we arrive here ahead of round 7. Jorge Prado then leads away by 3 points. He took over the championship lead a week ago in Portugal from Thomas Olsen, and it'd be interesting to see how that little battle plays out here before we head into a one weekend's break. Henry Jacobi is now 54 points behind Olsen in third. Jago Geerts, we just heard from him a moment ago, fourth. Tom Bial is in fifth. Riding his first home Grand Prix here this weekend is a Red Bull KTM. Mitch Evans is sixth. Ben Watson, David Porches, Adam Sterry and Calvin Vallarn absent here this weekend, just like he was a week ago in Portugal due to that complication with his ankle injury. Right, if you didn't see it yesterday, here's what happened in the MX2 qualifying race. The gate dropped and the riders charged down into turn 1, and it was the number 61 on the Red Bull KTM, Jorge Prado, that just got his wheels ahead going into that first turn. Jago Geerts right behind him in second. Floris Friedrichs over on the outside, but it was Cervelin here who was in third momentarily. Henry Jacobi just to his right on the Kawasaki, nipped into third. Behind them, Mitch Evans on the Honda. Evans quickly made a break for it, got himself into fourth, closely followed by the 28 of Vial as Cairoli and the team looked on. A hard, slick racetrack yesterday. Ben Watson got himself up the inside of Adam Sterry. That put him up into around about 7th, 8th place early on. Whilst up front, Jacobi still hanging on in there in third for F&H Kawasaki. Thomas Olsen, 18th out of the start, slides his way up the inside of Maxime Renault to get himself into 14th. And then he went after Sterry later on in the race. That put him up into around about 10th. And then Dylan Walsh got caught napping. Watson was at the inside. And just after Olsen found his way past the Kiwi, he then went after Watson. That put Olsen into 8th place. Watson down tonight. Maxime Renault landed on Dylan Walsh on one of the downhills. Walsh did not finish. Maxime Renault came home in 10th. Olsen wasn't done yet, though. He found his way around the outside of Brian Moreau. And then later on in the race, he passed Cervelin. And that got him into 6th. Watson muscled his way past the young Frenchman, Brian Moreau, to go 8th, and that's where he would stay just behind Cervelin. But it was Jorge Prado who was in good form and good mood, actually. He crossed the line for the 3rd qualifying race win of the year ahead of Jago, Geerts and Henry Jacobi. Here's how the top 5 look in the championship. Jorge Prado is your winner or leader of the championship at the moment by 3 over Thomas Kjer Olsen. Then we have Jacobi, Geerts and Vial, just 6 points further back of the Yamaha rider. See the riders just making their way to the line. Here's how the riders do line up, though, for the MX2 first race. And this is all based on how they qualified yesterday. Jorge Prado goes to the line first, ahead of Jago, Geerts, Henry Jacobi, Mitch Evans, Tom Vial, Thomas Kjer Olsen, Michele Cervelin, Ben Watson. And then just behind him, Brian Moreau, who grew up racing this track and riding this track after school. Maxime Renault, he was fastest in warm-up this morning, actually, incidentally. Adam Sterry, 11, David Purchas, Bas Varson, Mitch Harrison, Brent Van Dalen, Alvin Osland, Matthijs Boarame, Darren Sinai, Jan Pancha, Enzo Torriani, and the rest of the guys. Dylan Walsh, he was 31st. Well, that's what he was classified as. Just looking down the list, did he go out in warm-up this morning? Yes, he did. He was 16th on the Revo Husqvarna. There is Jorge Prado, the new championship leader on the Red Bull KTM. 29, Henry Jacobi, FNH Racing Team, the Kawasaki rider. Showed good heart and good spirit yesterday, was 3rd. So he'll be looking forward to the action here today. Now, from this angle, we see the crowd over on the far side of the circuit, but these guys here, they don't see it. They see the fans lining the fence. It's not until you start dropping down those hills and you see the enormity of the crowd here. Thomas Olsen going through his usual routine, getting rid of the demons and any negative thoughts. Jago, Geerts, Monster Energy, Khmer, Yamaha doing the same, just getting those shoulders working. That's interesting. 61 of the 29 lining up together. I wonder if either of those have a plan, because if Jacobi gets a good jump, you know he's going to come across the Spaniard. There's Mitch Evans, the Honda 114 Motorsports rider, currently sits at 6th in the championship. Got a podium last time out in Portugal. Tom Vial riding his first ever home Grand Prix. He's seen the podium twice this year. He was 7th overall in Portugal a week ago. That's the run down to the first turn. Crowd on their feet down that end. There are more further around the valley. There is Ben Watson. First look at the Monster Energy Khmer Yamaha rider. Currently 7th in a points chase, tied with Mitch Evans. So Evans, who got the podium last week, that was the difference there. Michele Cervelin, well, we were surprised to see him line up at all in race 2 in Portugal, but somehow he picked himself up off the deck, got himself back into the race. Brian Moreau, Bud Racing Kawasaki, in a limited edition race top this weekend for his home round. Boris Friedrichs over on the right-hand side, 3:31. Riding for the STC Racing IXS Yamaha squad. The Fly Racing 15-second board is up for the first time today for MX2 Race 1. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Round 7 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. It's the MXGP of France, and we are at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. Who would it be that grabs the first foxhole shot? Prado, immediate. He was 2 bike lengths clear by the time he got the other side of the gate. And he's over the line first again for his 8th foxhole shot. Cervelin right behind him in 2nd. Looking to see who's third. 101, Pichon, and then Brian Moreau in fourth place. Fifth is, oh, Moreau goes down. He jumped long, he landed in a load of sticky mess. So Moreau was third. Looks like he's crashed out. Yeah, he has. Just the way they've ripped the track and watered the track, and he just got caught out there. He wasn't quite straight when he landed either. He landed all crossed up, and that's not going to help either. But it's Prado who leads the way. Cervelin second. Pichon was third, but he's just been passed by Sterry, actually. Adam Sterry, the lead F&H Kawasaki. Jago Geerts right behind, pushes the Honda back another position as well. Pichon. Jago Geerts holds a nice tight line in fourth over on the right-hand side. Walsh, after that crash yesterday in qualifying, and he's got Thomas Kjer Olsen behind him. Friedrichs from the outside gate. He's alongside Cervelin or Maxime Renault. It's Pooches, actually. And then Tom Vial in orange for Red Bull KTM. So those two in and around about 11th, 12th place on this opening lap here at Saint-Jean. But Prado leads the way. Olsen down the inside of Pooches. He cannot afford to take any unnecessary risk. Not on the opening lap. There's a 44 of Morgan Leciado as well, but launching into the wave section again, built it up this today, so a little bit more hang time it appears. Olsen closes the door on David Pooches, who gets on Dylan Walsh, actually, who also gets squeezed there by the 959, and Watson and Mitch Harrison at the top end of the circuit, the tabletop onto the highest point, into the next left, so next right. So Watson obviously having to come to. Everyone's going to bunch up there on the opening lap, but back ends lighting up all over the place. Jacoby takes advantage. Two passes in one go, runs Walsh to the outside. He's not taking any kind of prisoners. He already disposed of Cervelin at the top of the hill. He's got his eyes set on the guy in red just ahead of him, Zach Pichon there, 101. But it's Prado at 155.8. He's already 2.5 seconds clear of Michele. Cervelin, Jago Geerts in third. Sterry is in fourth place. Fifth is Thomas Olsen. Sixth, Pichon. Then we've got Jacoby here. Then Renault. Then Walsh. Then Vial. Then Pooches, the rider leading off the back there. So Jacoby is obviously not in any mood for hanging around. Nor is Thomas Olsen. He goes around the outside of Adam Sterry, but Sterry holds a nice tight line through that left-hander. And then gets good drive, heading up onto the steep climb on the run-up towards the Monster Energy tabletop. This is where Harrison and Watson went down on the opening lap. Didn't see it, but we just saw the aftermath of both riders picking themselves up and getting back into the race. Maxime Renault has found his way past Dylan Walsh, moved into 8th position as Jorge Prado here, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Opens up more of an advantage over the Yamaha SM Action MC Migliori Yamaha of 747, Michele Cervelin. The Monster Energy Khmer Yamaha of 193 there, the second rider in shot, Jago Geerts. He's currently in third place. He needs to get past Cervelin as quickly as he can if he is to have any chance of closing down that gap, because you can already see Prado streaking away into the distance. Second and third dropping downhill towards us. Sterry fourth at the top of the hill on his F&H Kawasaki, doing his best to keep Thomas Olsen at bay. Good drive around the outside there though for Jago Geerts. Track not as bumpy as it was yesterday. Two Yamahas going at it here, though. 2 laps in the books. Geerts looking for something else. Decides to go around the outside, but comes to nothing. So Prado leads, Cervelin here in second. Geerts around the outside in third. Sterry 4, Olsen 5th, Pichon 6th, Jacoby 7th, Renault 8th, Vial back up to 9th. He's just found his way past the Revo Husqvarna of Dylan Walsh. David Pooches for Team Deagle Procross. Husqvarna is 11. Enzo Torriani is 12. Sanai 13. Morgan Leciado. And here's Tom Vial finding his way past Dylan Walsh. over the uphill triple. Oh, he put the squeeze on him. It didn't quite work out. He still had some work to do. Oh, down towards the finish line, actually. Here's Brian Moreau down again. Geerts goes to the inside once more. Tries to lean on the Italian. Back end lights up as he rejoins onto the start straight. He's getting frustrated. There's Prado just out of shot. Another fastest lap for the Spaniard last time around at 53.7. These two in the mid-54s. Here's Olsen. His starts have been letting him down recently. As Rasmus Jorgensen, the team trainer, said on the pre-run interview with Lisa Leyland, he's putting 100% effort in. He's working hard. He's working on his starts. But when you start in 18th or 19th place, you can't give that kind of advantage away to somebody like Jorge Prado, to somebody like Jacobi, or even Jago Geerts here, and Michele Cervelin. Good momentum around the outside that time for Jago Geerts, working all of the track, hoping for a mistake when Cervelin goes inside into those deep, edgy ruts, waiting for the Italian to commit to a line before he can do something. Jumps a little bit longer, a little bit smoother run up towards the tabletop here at the top end of the circuit. Huge leap downhill. Here's Adam Sterry, F&H Racing, Kawasaki. And the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna of Thomas Olsen just behind him in 5th place. Geerts looking for something else. He does. He finds a way past Cervelin. Gets aggressive with him as well as he comes into land off that little scrub jump. But he's already 4.5 seconds behind your race leader. Adam Sterry going defensive just before they drop back down onto the start straight. Olsen looking for a little bit of momentum. Struggling in that 5th position to find his way past the Welshman. 8-11, Adam Sterry. Just behind these two, Zach Pichon, Maxime Renault, who's just actually found his way past Henry Jacobi. Well, the German won't like that. See there, the flash of blue at the bottom of the screen, just behind these two. So Maxime Renault on a bit of a charge. And Renault will hit the line in 7th place now, just ahead of Jacobi, Vial, and now David Puches, who's back past Dylan Walsh. Olsen gets the door closed in front of him. This battle here, though, Zach Pichon, Maxime Renault, Henry Jacobi, these three here, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Zach Pichon on the Honda 114 Motorsports squad. Whereas his teammate Mitch Evans, actually, he's in 18th position. Loris Friedrich just behind him in 19th. Jan Pancher in 20th. Give you a rundown, actually, as the top 20 looks currently, with 21 minutes plus 2 laps to go, as Olsen once again tries to go around the outside. He might. Just bobbled on the exit of the turn. Prado leads Jago Geerts. Cervelin is 3rd, Sterry 4th, Olsen 5th. This is 6th, 7th, and 8th. And Olsen does find his way past the 8-11 of Adam Sterry. Moves himself up into 4th then. Down past pit lane they go. Here's how he did it. Stayed a little bit lower, jumped a little bit longer, just hung off the back. Got himself a bike length, closed down the door. And Renault makes his move as well. And so too does the 29. So Renault all of a sudden in 6th. Jacobi going with him. There's Pichon in red. So Prado, Geerts now with the fastest lap at 52.1, so 9/10 quicker than the race leader. Are we going to see a surprise here? Is Jago Geerts going to be able to put it out there for the next 19.5 minutes plus 2 laps and whittle down that gap to the race leader, Jorge Prado, on a Red Bull KTM, and try and wrestle away 25 points from the Spaniard? Here he is, just set the fastest lap, Jago Geerts. Monster Energy Khmer Yamaha rider. There's Prado just heading uphill. So we'll keep an eye on those lap times. 3.9 now it is. We saw this yesterday, though, in the qualifying race. Prado was starting to get caught by Geerts, and then in the space of a lap, just pulled out another second advantage. Almost like he was playing with them, but is he going to be able to do that here in race 1? Oh, and Maxime Renault just knacking his way out of that right-hander. Caught something, caught his foot on a bump or a hole. Lucky to stay on track. Here's Tom Vial, the number 28, now up into 8th place, because he too has found his way past Zach Pichon. Down the start straight, long look over to his right there from Henry Jacobi on the F&H Kawasaki, just getting ready to wind things up a little bit here. Jumps long. Great battle this for 6th and 7th. Between Maxime Renault, Yamaha SM Action MC Migliori, and the 29 of Henry Jacobi, making the Frenchman work. Good to see some new talent coming up through MX2 in the form of former FIM Junior World Champion Maxime Renault. Tom Vial looking interesting all of a sudden, closing in on Jacobi. Adam Sterry being caught by Renault, and they've just dropped Jacobi ever so slightly. Good performance this from Renault. Oh, waved yellows. We've got one of our leaders downhill, bottom of the hill. Might have been Cervelin, judging by the way he's looking over his shoulder. And Olsen has an easy picking there. He takes 2 more vital points and a position for 3rd. Jago Geerts is closing, isn't he? 3 seconds. Last time around. Getting closer. Brian Moreau. He's distraught and beat up 2 decent-sized crashes for the Frenchman on the Bud Racing Kawasaki. His race coming to an end. Not what he wanted on quite literally a home track for him. 2.8 seconds. 2/10 chipped away again from Jago Geerts, putting everything into this first race. He can see Prado at the top of the hill, and Prado just ran into a little bit of trouble there, it seemed. But then you look at the way that line is starting to edge out at the top. Can he maintain focus? Can he maintain this kind of speed and momentum? Another mistake there from Prado. Just caught the edge of the mogul, landed just a bit awkwardly. All these are adding up to a 10th here and a 10th there. Back with this battle, Sterry, Renault, Jacobi. Fighting for 5th. Oh, and Maxime Renault, once again, out of a top scoring position. He limps home the bottom of the hill. The Frenchman goes out of the race. Maxime Renault, not sure what the problem was. Didn't look down, and was it a puncture of some sort? But most of these guys are using mousses, surely, if it is a puncture, but difficult to say. So Vial all of a sudden finds himself in 7th place. Just off the back of these two. F&H Kawasaki's of Sterry and Jacobi. 5th and 6th. Vial is getting closer. Two leaders over the line, 52.7, 52.9. Prado responding by about 0.2. Gets that gap to just over 3 seconds. Thomas Olsen sets his fastest lap of the race at 53.5, and he's out on his own. No traffic, and 5 or 6 tenths slower than the two guys ahead of him. So still got a mountain to climb. Still got about 11 seconds to make up as well. Sterry won't make it easy for his teammate. Cervelin just making a break for it ahead of these two on his Yamaha, just at the top of the hill, out of sight. This might just play into the hands of the 28, Tom Vial. These two start tripping each other up. Where's Ben Watson? He's in 21st place. He fell at the top of the hill there, the other side of the city bridge, with Mitchell Harrison. Harrison in 30th place. Watson now up in the 21st. So the rider who was 7th in the championship, tied with Mitch Evans coming into this first race here, round 7, will now drop a few points to the Australian. He'll stay in 7th as Jacobi down the inside of his teammate. So Jacobi then finally up past Adam Sterry, puts him into 5th place. Vial closing in fast as well. 12.5 minutes plus 2 to go, and Sterry caught napping there. Probably didn't realise that Vial was as close as he was. Oh, Jacobi goes down, and Vial runs over him. Jacobi looked like he wanted to rip his head off as well. That's what happens when you crash in front of somebody, but couldn't avoid him. Watch this. So Vial just passed Sterry. Jacobi decides to take a dive. Headbutts a fork leg. So, drama again. Vial now finds himself in, Jacobi now having to deal with the threat from Dylan Walsh, so he's down to 9th place. Vial all of a sudden up into 5th. And there's Maxime Renault, disappointing for the Yamaha SM Action MC Migliori rider. Out of 6th. The gap 3.1 between Jorge Prado here on the Red Bull KTM. Or it was at the end of lap 9. We're now on lap 10. Has Jago Geerts found something here? Or is it still about 3 seconds? Still about 3 seconds. A camera angle. Just looking at the sectors, 16.7, 17.2, so half a second pullback. 26.3, 26.2, 0.2 pullback there. 38.1, 37.7. So yeah, he is getting closer. But is it enough to put Prado under pressure? We'll drop downhill here. Jorge Prado hits the line now. 10 laps complete. A 1:53.6, a 1:53.4, 2.8 seconds. They're pretty much identical on the final split. Prado, so far, yet to lose a race in 2019. Didn't line up at round 2, Matterley Basin, because of a shoulder injury. The 5 rounds it has competed, taken all 10 race wins. Jago Geerts, he's had a handful of seconds and a third, and he's in another 2nd place finish here at the moment, but has he got the goods to challenge for a race win? Heading back uphill, here's Prado. Geerts on his tail in second. Awkward edge through there, isn't it, on the right-hand side, as they go through that, or on the left-hand side as they go through that right-hander. Thomas Olsen third, about 12 seconds further back, so he's losing ground on the leaders. Cervelin is fourth, Vial is fifth, and he was quicker than the Italian. So is he going to be chipping away for a fourth-place finish here in race one and do his podium chances no harm whatsoever? Sterry is sixth, Butch is seventh. Good ride for the Diga Procross rider. Zach Pichon, 8, likewise for him. If he can come away with a top 10 finish here, it'll be his first ever top 10 finish in MX2. Zach Pichon. Jacoby is 9, Dylan Walsh 10. Mitch Evans now to 11 for Honda 114. Darian Sinai, bike at DRT Kawasaki. He's got some pace here this weekend. Riding through the Epstein-Barr virus issues that he had. He's now in 12th place. Matej Guarame for Honda Red Motor, Asamoto. Gap 2.1 seconds now between Prado and Geerts. Geerts at 53.5, gains 3/4 of a second on the race leader. They can't look down there, down at the Yamaha garage. Evans is now up at the 10th. He's found his way past Dylan Walsh. Luciano has found his way past fellow Italian Enzo Torriani, goes up to 14th position. Brent Van Donnick is 16, Alvin Austin 17, Watson now 18. Gustavo Pessoa has just passed Loris Friedrich to get himself in the 19th place. Here is Jago Geerts. Again, pulls another 2/10 back at sector 1. Prado over the second sector at the bottom of the hill, 25.4, 26.4, so a second loss alone on that second sector somehow for Geerts, but Geerts is still, yeah, just a bobble. But it hasn't stopped him from believing, has it? He can sniff 25 points, can Jago Geerts, for the first time in MX2. So far, Prado has been invincible. When you look at the results on paper, winning every single race. Ah, bonjour, Monsieur Vial. Right onto the rear wheel of Michele Cervelin now. This is a battle for 4th place. French fans on their feet. 20 years ago, it's for his old man, Fred Vial. Oh, gets right into the side of the Yamaha almost as he rounds out turn 2. Cervelin goes long and then cuts to the inside. Both of these carrying good downhill speed, good corner speed as well. Meanwhile, Prado has extended his gap by about another 3/4 of a second, so those two concertinaing at the moment, back and forth, to-in and throw-in. Tied together with a piece of elastic, Prado and Geerts. Olsen on his own in 3rd. 11 seconds clear of these guys. This one, I think, will go for the next 6+2. Cervelin hanging on, though. Got a 7th in race 1. That was race 2 in Portugal. Michele Cervelin, that was beat up as well after a race 1 crash. Here he is currently occupying 4th place. 4th or 5th will be his best result of the season, no matter what. Looks to his right, covers to the left. Can he hang on, or will the 28 find a way through? Nicely up on the pegs there. Trust in the tyres through the loose marbles at the top of the hill, through that right-hander. Just letting it drift. Listen to the roar of the French crowd. Vial not close enough at the moment to make a pass. It's like a robot here in front of us, isn't it? Puts his arms up. holds them, stays there for 30 seconds, drops them down again. The Yamaha fan at the top of the hill there. Pichon up to 8th. He's put Jacoby down, but then Jacoby fights back and moves back in 8th place. 13 laps complete. Prado now 3 seconds clear of Jago Geerts with 4+2 to go. Olsen on his own, 14 seconds further back. Cervelin still hanging on to 4th here. That's the battle we're watching on screen. The Yamaha SM Action MC Migliori rider in yellow and black puts a back marker between himself and Vial. Vial has to go the long way round. The 818 there of Jeremy Hookier, North Europe Racing KTM rider this weekend in MX2. Vial tries to lean on Cervelin, but that inside line always cuts to the outside. But he's hard on the brakes here, backhand, dancing around. It wasn't pretty, but boy, was it effective. The fans love that. Right, here's Evans and Jacoby and Pichon and Sanai just in the background. Talk about riding with your heart on your sleeve. That's definitely what Tom Vial's done here. Look at this, watch the back end. The front end is working overtime. You're into ruts, into braking bumps. You're fighting the thing left, right, and center. Vial now up into 4th place. We've got Wave Jellos coming out of the final turn down towards the finish line jump. And then cautionary. Looks like Mitch Harrison, maybe. If it's a number 35, it will be the American. Oh, it's Brian Moreau. He's gone out for a bit more and still struggling to make those tyres stick to the ground here. Oh, and this is how Brian Moreau fell this time. Top of the hill. Just buried the front and then nails a tough block. Meanwhile, Tom Vial, who's put everything he can into this first MX2 race here at France, Saint-Jean-d'Angely, 7th round of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of France here. There's Thomas Olsen, the guy he would normally be trying to close down, but with a minute and a half plus 2 laps to go, the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider looks like he's just, I won't say turned off the gas, he still has to push. But it looks like he's going to be safe. For now, at least. About 13 seconds clear. Oh, hello. 1.7 all of a sudden. Game on here for the race win. 3 laps to go. Prado has been caught once again by Jago Geerts. Monster Energy Khmer Yamaha rider going after the Red Bull KTM, and that is not 1.7 now. So what kind of problems has Prado had this time around? A 54.1 against a 52.7. That is a massive gain for the young Belgian. Doesn't look comfortable, does he, Prado? Or has he just taken his eye off the ball? He got to a 3-second advantage and then, I don't know, maybe just turned it off. Watch this. Top of the hill. Yeah, bobbled, missed the rut. Kept it all in check. Top end of the circuit. Jago Geerts all of a sudden within touching distance once more. Hardy Ruziorg just ahead of him on the number 75 WZ Racing KTM. The leader needs to pick his lines wisely. He goes to the inside. So too does Jago Geerts. The fans are going to be on their feet. We have a real challenge. This is as close as anybody has got to Jorge Prado so far in 2019. Come on, Hardy. Good lad, stay over to the left-hand side. Let these guys go to work. Geerts. He has brought this MX2 race back to life. He's been back and forth, back and forth. But Prado has always had an answer. But who will have the final say? Another mistake there for Prado. And Jago Geerts and Prado are over the line, 0.3 of a second, and he goes to move around the outside. Ah, Jago Geerts takes the lead here in France. Prado has never seen the back of another rider this late in the race so far this year. Can he come back? Jago Geerts now has to keep his emotions in check. His heart is going to be pounding through that chest. Adrenaline surging through his veins. Oh, he took a cheap shot there at the top of the hill, did Prado. Tried to get up the inside of the Yamaha rider. What a fantastic race. Jago Geerts, he cannot afford to switch off. Prado will show him a wheel here. Try and spook him into making a mistake if he can. The Monster Energy Khmer Yamaha rider leads away, and a mistake for Prado again at the bottom of the hill. Somehow he managed to find a rut to drop into that left-hander. Back markers on the horizon. Geerts already goes to the inside. He knows what he's going to do at the end of the straight. Oh, we're just about to enter the final lap here. Jago Geerts on the Monster Energy Khmer Yamaha, 193. He has come from about 3.5 seconds down, probably his worst gap that he had to make up. And he's done it in the space of 2 or 3 laps. And he's pulling away from the Red Bull KTM of Jorge Prado, who does not look comfortable. But has he got a surprise in store for the young Belgian? He just sets the fastest third sector of the race by about 0.5 seconds as Prado. So that would probably suggest that the Spaniard does have something up his sleeve here. Everybody watching on here. Prado is now 1 second down. We're still dealing with back markers. Watch this here. This was the pass a lap ago. He went to the inside, did Prado. Geerts maintained the momentum around the outside, and I bet Hans Corvus could barely contain himself from whatever vantage point he was watching from. The fans loved it. Back markers there. Where is top of the hill? And Jago Geerts. He goes around the outside. Back marker splits the two leaders here. Prado has to stretch it out. Jago Geerts is about 0.5 lap away from taking his first ever MX2 race win, and Prado gets caught there by a back marker. Well, Loris Friedrichs already looks over his shoulder. He knows the leaders are coming through, but this has been a masterclass from Jago Geerts here in Moto number 1. He just needs to keep it all under control. A handful of corners to go. And all the Yamaha bigwigs are here as well this weekend. Down past pit lane for the final time. Through the first turn. He's got 4 more corners to go, has Jago Geerts of Belgium. All of Belgium will be on their feet, watching this from wherever they are. But Prado is not done yet. He's found something. He is all over the back of the Belgian as they charge down in the final 2 corners. He still believes he can make a run for the line. Jago Geerts knows he's there. A mistake from Prado, and Jago Geerts is going to exit the final turn. A mistake from Prado. Jago Geerts wins race 1. He takes his first ever MX2 race victory, and he has handed a defeat for the first time to Jorge Prado. Wow, what a performance from the young Belgian. Well, they were wondering where the next Belgian superstar was coming from. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Jago Geerts, and take a bow, young man. That was a performance of epic proportions. And he doesn't even look flustered, does he? He's just probably a nice little smile under that helmet of his, the shy, quiet-talking Belgian. But he's got to do it all again in race 2 if he's to stand on the top step of the podium. Prado can't believe it. He hasn't even taken his goggles off. He is defeatable. We just saw that here. It's not easy to close down the 61, but Prado, well, I don't know whether he made a mistake or if he just tightened up, got arm pump, just didn't gel with the track the second half of the race. Whatever the reason or reasons, you cannot take away that performance from Jago Geerts. It was just mind-blowing what the Belgian has just done here today in race 1. He wins by 1.4 seconds over Jorge Prado. We'll do the results in just a moment. Still waiting for a few riders to come over the line. And here is our first time ever race winner, Jago Geerts, with Lisa Leyland.
Jago Geerts, what a race. Your first ever MX2 race win, and you did it in style. Fantastic move on Prado there. Tell us, just how are you feeling at this very moment?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. I missed the start a little bit, but the first 2 laps were really good, so I moved up to 2nd place, and then at the 3rd last lap I could make the move, and yeah, I'm just really happy with my first win, and the riding was good, so I hope to do it again the 2nd moto.
Brilliant result. Thanks, Jago.
Jago Geerts and Monster Energy Committee Yamaha take their first win of the season. And Jago Geerts' first ever race win in MX2. What a performance from the young Belgian. Didn't make the best start, still had to pass a couple of riders in the beginning. But when he got there, he closed down the gap. He kept chipping away, always kept believing. And maybe that was the difference, you know. He never gave up, maybe, when others did. So the first race out of the way, and what a race it was as well. Unbelievable. Jago Geerts wins the first race here at Saint-Jean-d'Angely, France. Jorge Prado 2nd, Thomas Olsen 3rd. Tom Vial coming home 4th in his first ever home Grand Prix. David Puches, good ride for him in 5th. Adam Sterry 6th. Mitch Evans got through to 7th in the end. Good ride for the Australian. Henry Jacoby 8th. Matthijs Boirame 9th. And Darian Sinai, fantastic for the American intent. Pichon 11th. Watson 12th. Dylan Walsh, Morgan Leciado. Bas Varson in 15th. Alvin Ostlund, Richard Sakina, Enzo Torriani, Gustavo Pessoa, and Jan Panzer. Take a look at the highlights from MX2 Race 1, because you need to pay attention. There were a few of them. Here's how they disappeared down the start straight. Prado had about 3 bike lengths by the time he got midway down. But up the inside, Adam Sterry. Around the outside was Cervelin. At this stage, Jago Geerts was squeezed to the inside, looking about 7th, 8th place behind Thomas Olsen. Brian Moreau on the Kawasaki, he made a mistake immediately as he jumped downhill. Look, he got it wrong there, over the bars. Felt that from my commentary seat. He picked himself up. It wouldn't be the first time we'd seen him doing that either. Top of the hill. Prado led the way. Cervelin was 2nd. Geerts quickly on the move into 3rd as Ben Watson and Mitchell Harrison fell at the highest point of the racetrack. Tom Vial was making good ground as well on the number 28. Brian Moreau ejected himself over the bars again, came in, and then he went back out. Adam Sterry came under attack from the 959 of Maxime Renault as Geerts finally made a move on Cervelin to move himself into 2nd place. Thomas Olsen, number 19, found his way past Adam Sterry. And then Maxime Renault went out of 6th place. The two F&H boys, Adam Sterry and Henry Jacoby, but Jacoby eventually moved past Sterry for 5th. And then, just as quick, he fell, headbutted a fork leg from Tom Vial, picked himself up, and would eventually come home in 8th place. Vial muscled his way aggressively down the inside of Cervelin to get himself up into 4th place. But the surprise of the race, the persistence of 193 Jago Geerts. He made his move on Jorge Prado. Prado came back for one last attempt for a pass for the lead on the final lap, but it was Jago Geerts who crossed the line by a second and a half to beat the Spaniard for the first time this year. Sensational first MX2 race here at Saint-Jean-d'Angély. I think there was a small matter of the Fox hole shot to be awarded. And, well, he arrived here already at the top of the Fox hole shot leaderboard, and he will continue to lead as well because Jorge Prado turned 7 into 8. He'll brave a smile here. Disappointed with not having picked up a race win in this first MX2 race. Still only three riders have taken Fox hole shots this year. Prado on 8, Vial 4, and a Most Icon 1. Right, let's take a look at some of the best moments, shall we? From that first MX2 race. Right, we're going to take a quick break, but join us in about 2.5 minutes for MXGP Race 1. We're seeing them.